afternoon, and welcome to the show, The Matt Wallen Show, on 99.3 U Central Radio. I'm Matt Wallen. With me are the real deals, Brad J-Ro, and Ike Wilcox.
What up, what up?
You better say his name right.
I know. Sorry, Brad,
That's
for
right.
messing up your name.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, it's not like I say it every single day.
Speak with your chest, Matt.
Thank you. Thank
Say
you,
with your
Ike.
chest.
So a basketball game was played last night, and I was surprised that San Antonio played all their people. But
I was too, yeah.
But the Thunder, and I texted you this before the game, tonight, talking about last night, would be the night remembered where the Thunder tried to Spurs the Spurs with this.
And they almost succeeded.
They almost did. I'm impressed. But, I mean, we'll break down the notes and all that. It really just comes down to experience.
Would you have ever thought that the Thunder season could have ended and began with Dion Waiters beating the Spurs? Because if you remember in that first game, he hit the go-ahead basket.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Wow, yeah.
Would you ever have thought?
Hey, I like what you said in the text. Waiters giveth, waiters taketh away. Yeah. Did y'all watch anything else?
Not really. What about you, Ike?
No, I don't even know what I was doing. Oh, yeah.
Sounds like a good night.
I was actually at Sigtal playing volleyball for the first time this year. It was kind of fun, but yeah, I came home and caught the second quarter of the game and realized that we weren't. I heard earlier that we weren't going to start tonight, but I realized that Tim was playing. I was like, Duncan's playing, and then I look, and Kawhi was on.
Weren't you the one who pointed out this could be his last regular season game?
Oh yeah, this could be. Yeah,
that could have been.
Technically, yeah, it could be, and it could have been Kevin's last regular season game as a Thunder player.
Ooh. If that's
Dion stole the show.
if that is
20% shooting.
If that's a true statement, like his last home game, regular season home game,
That he actually played
would have been
against.
L.A.
Yeah.
No, but did y'all watch the pregame of the Lakers game?
No, I did not.
He said, so Durant and Westbrook both grabbed the mic and said things to the crowd, about the play. And then Durant said, we just finished up a season. I'm looking forward to another season here in a couple weeks. But he's talking about the playoffs. And between that gap where he paused, everybody's like, oh, he's coming back.
yeah, he said another season. Oh, the playoffs. The playoffs ain't a season.
Oh, he meant figuratively, metaphorically for the playoffs.
Well,
Darn it.
I mean, it is another season. Think about it.
No, it is, but just he really
start
got
over.
the hopes up.
I know. He gave all the Thunder fans hopes.
That was a little teaser there.
Yeah. How many fans do the Thunder lose if KD leaves? Because every
lot.
team has those bandwagoners. Oh, I'm not a fan of a team. I'm a fan of a player.
Well, we like to think that we have a really good fan base, but we don't have the history to back up.
It's a true statement.
We don't have the history to justify being more of a fan of the team than Kevin Durant. I mean, and if Durant leaves, it's not like what could I compare it to? It's not like when Shaq left Orlando, like there's nothing they could do because they had just been to the finals and they had a great team around him. He just didn't want to be there. With Durant, I mean, they haven't surrounded him with good role players, and he wants to win. And if he leaves, you can't really hold that against him. You know what I mean? So a lot of people are going to be like, well, the Thunder didn't do what they needed to do, so forget them. I'm going to follow Durant because, I mean, he is Thunder basketball so far.
I agree. Let's see. What else do we got on schedule for today? We'll talk about Kobe's last career game for a legend.
Ever.
He might play pickup someday.
Nope.
No?
He's done.
He's done? Never going to see him shooting at the gym again?
Nope.
I bet you.
Never picks up a basketball again.
Again. I disagree with that, but I bet.
I was being serious, by the way.
I know. Let's see. I bet he has keys to the Staples Center. He walk in whenever he wants. Hey, y'all are set up for a concert? Nah. Bring my goal out. That's exactly how I see it
I'm the
going
Mamba.
down.
Do you know who you're talking to?
Yeah, do you know who I am?
I built this. Well, he didn't build the house. Lakers are a great franchise. But
before that.
He built it post 1999. There you go.
I mean, he's the greatest Laker to play in the Staples Center. Can we say that?
When was the Staples Center built?
Yeah, I was about to say. Can we look that up?
Yeah, I know. I know he played in the Western Forum. I think his earlier seasons, and then they transitioned to the Staples Center. So.
Yeah, maybe he did kind of build that house. Then we'll look that up. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember when it was built, so that's a really good point.
We'll also be looking at can history be set tonight? Can 73 wins be accomplished? Also, playoff scenarios. Tonight's the last night of the regular season in the NBA. Well, it should be a good show today. Also, Ike, do we have what's going on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We'll get the music ready. We won't do it right now. It'll be later in the show. But I like what we got on tap for today. Let's take a quick break, then we'll break it all down. We'll start with Thunder Spurs. You're listening to the Matt Wallen Show on 99.3 U Central Radio. 12:17, and you're listening to the Matt Wallen Show on 99.3 U Central Radio. Ike, were you able to look up at what year the Staples Center was built?
It's 99, so technically
it is the house.
It is the house that Kobe built.
Interesting.
With the help of Shaq, Pal,
Fish,
Meta.
World peace, y'all.
Yes,
World
sir.
Peace.
Elbow of Justice.
And of course, the Zen.
I was gonna say Jordan Clarkson.
Oh no! What are you talking about?
Swaggy.
The Zen Master.
Swaggy.
No. Phil too. So
Phil.
yeah, and the buses.
Hey, Phil's gonna be back, man. Next year, after next season, he's gonna be back.
Back as in like a coaching position or a head office position.
Well, I think Jenny's gonna fire the brother because 3 years are gonna be up. And he will not have turned it around. And that was his deal that he made. He would have the Lakers turned around in 3 years. I don't think they'll be turned around. And, Phil has this where he can opt out of his contract after next season. So when his fiance calls, he's going to go home to L.A.
The fact that Phil Jackson wanted Kurt Rambis as a head coach is just that baffles me. I feel like that's not good upper management. Like if you want Kurt Rambis as your head coach, okay.
Phil wants someone where he can just pull the strings. Like, you're going to do what I say. You see these championships, do what I say. I don't want to travel.
A whole Pat Riley,
I'm too old.
Spoelstra type relationship, maybe.
Okay, that's interesting point.
He just wants to help out his friends and get them jobs. We would all do the same thing.
We would all do.
If I was the GM of the Knicks, you guys be.
Could I be head coach?
You'd be concession stand. No.
Whoa. I couldn't be head coach. I'd be head coach.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
I'm Stan Ferguson. Are you kidding me?
Stan Ferguson, please sit down.
You know how many games I won coaching? Oh, we did.
Yeah, you didn't win any.
Okay. We didn't win.
Okay, so like we were talking also about the break, we'll get back on topic soon, I promise. About the Clippers, though, they can fit 63 more people in the Staples Center than the Lakers, and how is that possible?
How is it possible?
And Brad had the best line.
Well, I guess they put those seats where their banners would be, right?
Man,
That's so true. Maybe one day they'll make it out of the Western Conference Finals.
Out of the semifinals.
Well, they'll make it to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
So Thunder Spurs last night. What were your thoughts?
Play really well. I was very impressed with Enes as usual. Enes is my vote for Sixth Man of the Year goes to him now. Like I really do think he is one of the best low post scorers in the game. Mm-hmm. It's incredible how well he can score under the basket.
Well, and he's one of the best rebounders too. I mean, the double doubles he's had, and he's the best offensive rebounder in the NBA. Just by every stat that indicates that. And yeah, I was also really impressed with Cameron Payne. It was the first start of his NBA career, and he's going up against arguably the best defensive team in the league. He had 6 turnovers, but he also had 7 assists, 17 points, shot 8 of 20. I mean, he did a really good job. 4
people for the Thunder last night had 17 points. Adams, Payne, Waiters, and Cantor. Waiters also was 5 for 22, but, hey.
What is 5 of 20? I'm gonna have to look that. I'm gonna have to calculate that. I gotta see what that is.
Well, if you think about it, he
less than
started
20, right?
He started off. Yeah, it's less. Yeah, it might be 20.
I'm not doing the math.
Let's see. If you think about it, though, he was what, 1 for 12?
Yeah, about 23%.
23%?
Goodness.
He started off 1 for 12, but towards the end got hot at the end of
He
regulation.
was 4 or 5 in the fourth quarter.
So not bad.
He actually got us to overtime on an and one. And I don't know if he yelled it or not.
No, he yelled it one time in the game. I
The
noticed
continuation. Was the biggest continuation I have ever seen, though, is all I'm going to say.
The only thing I could think of was Matt Wallen when he said, "I won." I was like, wow.
Hey, I won. Hey, he never put the ball back down, though, so I thought it was a good call.
Okay. Okay, I'll give it to you. Okay, the thing that stood out to me, the first quarter, was amazing. And guess what? There was no Foy, and there was no Singler. And 32 points were scored, and they held the Spurs to 21. I'm not saying the whole game would have gone like that. All I'm saying is, hey, it was nice. It really was nice seeing people on the basketball court that can contribute to your team, and you don't have just people out on the floor taking up space that are going to cost you a ball game.
Yeah, and I see that Morrow, I mean, he could have played a lot better than he did. He was 1 of 6, 1 of 3, but he was a plus 11 so in 21 minutes. So the spacing he provides, just the threat of him being out there, I just think improves it just improves your spacing so much just to have him out there.
He could have shot better, still had 8 points, though. And that's the thing. If you do put him out there, you can put him in the corner.
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all, but kind of the Derek Fisher role in the corner.
Okay. I agree.
Would you not agree?
I mean, yeah, he's a spot up shooter. He is like a stereotypical shooting guard. That's what he is. That's what he knows how to do. I mean, if you look at his shot, he didn't even have to really set up for a shot. I mean, if you throw it to him, he can catch me.
Oh, he catches it. Yeah, he doesn't bring it down.
Yeah.
What'd you call it last week? Pure shooter.
Pure shooter.
Pure shooter.
On that same level. It's an elite club that you're not invited to, Matt.
Oh, I can still outshoot you.
No, you cannot.
Okay, we're gonna have to figure a way to
Stop, Matt. Stop.
to show this. Let's see. Thoughts. Experience was the big thing.
Yeah.
We saw it between West and Cantor. I mean, West did not have the greatest of nights, but he did kind of control Cantor. Let's be honest. Or even there was a foul called or something. I can't remember exactly. I believe a travel was called, and Cantor's still going to the hoop, and West wraps him up and still fouls him. Foul doesn't count, but it was a point. Nothing easy. And that kind of stood there with Cantor, I think, for the rest of the game. Brad, you were telling me that it looked like they were about to fight afterwards.
Yeah, I don't know. They got into a little bit of a not a real big shoving match, but they were kind of pushing a little bit, and it was actually kind of funny. Like everybody had to kind of separate them, like a few guys did. So that was kind of interesting. So it'll be interesting if we play them in the playoffs. See if there's any more animosity there.
Who you think could win that fight?
I think West would win, personally.
I've always wanted West here. I feel like he would have brought that Kendrick Perkins type spirit, but an actual good scorer, better player.
I've always liked West. I liked him when he was with the Hornets and they were here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, David West, big fan. Could Cameron Payne or Deion Waiters fill the Harden role from 2012?
No.
No.
Payne, as much as I like him, and I like him a lot, he doesn't have the experience. I still think he should be the backup point guard.
Whoa. I could. Not right now.
Mm-hmm.
But could eventually fill that role.
Oh, eventually, yeah. I don't see Waiters doing it. He's not consistent enough. But I think Payne definitely could. And an interesting thing to point out is when the Thunder made deep runs in the past, it was because they had players that could, on occasion, go off for 20, 25 points. For me, that guy right now is Morrow from the guard position. Would you guys agree?
I got a question right quick. Hold on. You guys.
Whoa. Answer his question first.
What was your question?
You think Morrow would
could go off for 25?
25 points.
I mean, I can see it just because, like I said, he is a shooter. He's not going to do much in a sense. 20 to 25 though. That could be a little bit.
Yeah,
could be a little bit too much.
I'd say about 18.
But
18. That's about 6 threes. I mean,
but your question,
15, 18.
Your question was, could Cam or Dion what?
Take the Harden role.
Take the Harden role as in
someone,
just the sixth man that could.
No, not necessarily the sixth man, but someone that could also come in and drive the ball to the hole, could dish out, could do other things, could also pull up from three. They could play the 2 guard in a way that would also benefit
I feel like
Kevin and Russ.
I feel like we can always have that player, but they're not going to be as effective as James was. We kind of underestimated how great James was in a sense.
I mean, he wasn't great in the finals, but
okay, now that one period in his
the whole reason.
His whole career here at the Thunder, like we're kind of underestimating it.
What the Thunder really need is someone that can drive, so the defense has to collapse and they can kick out. Correct?
Yeah.
Do either of these players allow you to do that?
I can't see Dion. Maybe Cam at a smaller degree.
Okay.
But it's not going to be.
Cam had pretty good night with the left hand off the glass.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying that Cam's not a good player, but we can't.
I understand what you're saying.
We can't literally compare him to what James Harden is. Not even to.
But I think you're thinking of what James Harden is now.
No.
Not what he was in 2012. That's the problem.
He was still a dominant player. Like he won 6th Man of the Year.
He was still a lot better than Payne is right now.
I agree with that. I'm not saying that he's not.
At best, Payne can be a poor man's Harden.
Okay.
Is that fair?
That's basically what I'm trying to get out. Yeah.
So basically what the Thunder want, someone that doesn't cost money but a poor man's Harden. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. Difference. At half, the Thunder had 9 turnovers, and the third quarter had 7. I mean, even without the stars, they have a hard time turning it over. They only turned it over once in overtime, but it was the key one with less than 10 seconds left. It's really what it comes down to. They out-rebounded the Spurs, but Oklahoma City's been a great rebounding team all season long.
What are we like all time? Like, aren't we one of the best rebounding teams?
Right up there with like the 80s, a couple of 80s Celtics teams.
Or something like that.
Yeah, they do. We do a great job of rebounding. It's just turning the ball over. Shot 40% from the field, 24% from 3, 88% from the free throw line, 21 turnovers. Spurs 42, 28, 75, and only 11 turnovers.
Hey, my computer is kind of running slow. What was Danny Green's stats?
Green last night was 2 for 4.
Okay.
All from 3, 6 points.
See, he has to get out of his funk if they think they can actually win. He's one of the key players for the Spurs to win it. I feel like the Spurs is going to win it this year, but if they can't have Danny producing anything, man, he has to step it up, especially when they play Golden State.
I agree, because if you remember a few years ago, the finals they lost to the Heat. If they had gotten that rebound and they had won that Game 6, Green probably would have been Finals MVP, because he lit Miami up that finals, and that was the big difference for them. So, yeah, I agree. Obviously, their team's changed a lot since then, but Green is a big, big X factor for them.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. We'll take a quick break, then we'll be back. When we come back, we're going to stick on the subject of experience, because I feel like with the Thunder kind of live in a dream instead of reality. So we're going to go ahead and dig into dream versus reality real quick. You're listening to Matt Wallen Show on 99.3 U Central Radio. It's 12:33, and you're listening to the Matt Wallen Show on 99.3 U Central Radio. Guys, we talked about it. What is the difference between the dream and the reality? Because the dream is, for the Thunder, they like to get young players. They like to build from within. But the reality is, to win a championship, you have to have experience.
You have to. I'm really glad you brought this up. Because this is something people aren't really talking about.
Oh no, this is a big problem, and I'm probably going on a rant here. Okay. I had all this thought up I'll probably put a column up on our blog about this because this bothers me, and people don't seem to understand this. But before we start, I'm going to go ahead and play the basketball music because I forgot to do it earlier. So the dream versus the reality. Here we go. Okay. If you think about it, the 4 top teams in the West, and we would all agree, Golden State, San Antonio, OKC, Clippers, correct? Would you not agree?
Yes, agreed.
Okay. Now, out of the 4 teams, the team with the least amount of playoff experience per player is Oklahoma City.
Absolutely.
Oklahoma City, if you look at their teams, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 players that have never played in the playoffs at all.
And we all know the biggest struggle with this team is the bench. How many of those players are bench players? Almost all of them, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Okay, now let's take it a step forward.
Well, I got some. Hold on. Like, I can understand because more than half of the players on the team are under 23, 24.
But that's the problem. You are building on a dream instead of the reality of how the NBA works.
That you need experienced players.
You have to have experience.
Yeah. And even like Randy Foye is an older player who's come in and played a big role.
He's only made it to the playoffs once.
4 years ago. I mean, that's a big deal. 11 games. That's a decent amount.
Okay.
That was a long time ago.
What I'm trying to make a point is this. You're also missing another important factor. You have a coach who's never been to the playoffs. He never coached in an NBA game before the season.
Very true. Not to mention, I mean, who knows what's happened. I mean, obviously, Monty Williams isn't with the team anymore after what happened to his wife. And then Mo Cheeks, I mean, is he going to be on the bench for the playoffs? I mean, not only is he a first-time head coach, NBA coach in the playoffs, he doesn't have an assistants with him who have been there, done that to help him out. So, yeah, it's definitely experience is a huge problem that enough people aren't talking about. I mean, even Cantor, I mean, he's our best bench player, and he's only played in one playoff series. It was a sweep, and he only played like 10 minutes a game. It's a big deal.
Out of the 9 people that do have playoff experience, only 5 of them have made the playoffs more than once. Your top experienced people are Nazir Muhammad, who will never see the court in the playoffs, and Nick Collison, who I would highly doubt sees the court as well.
Yeah, I think whenever the team was making those deep runs from 2010 to 2012, we took for granted how much experience those players were getting. I mean,
no, they got great experience. The problem is
most of those guys are gone now.
Is the Thunder management did not surround them with players with other experience. Look at the Spurs.
I'm totally on board with you.
The Spurs, it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. First of all, let's look at Popovich. And yes, Popovich did this all while at San Antonio. But 18 appearances, 152-94 win-to-loss record, and 5 championships.
Don't get much better than that.
Okay. The Thunder as a team have 245 starts in the playoffs. Tim Duncan alone has 241 starts. Just let that settle in. Yes, being young can be a good thing, but to win a championship, you have to have experience. Go ahead and tell me Golden State didn't have experience. And I'll tell you the truth. Golden State didn't play a Spurs. Spurs got knocked down in the first round. The Thunder did not make the playoffs last year. Golden State played a beat-up Cleveland team for a championship. Golden State, in my opinion, does not win a championship this year. They are a great basketball team. They have a great chance to set a record tonight, one that a lot of us didn't think would ever be broken. But what I'm trying to point out is you need experience. Brad, you and I have sat here and said we think San Antonio wins.
Yep.
By far, they have the most experience. They only have 3 people who have not made it into the playoffs. And I don't think any of them are going to see minutes in the playoffs as it is.
Yeah, maybe a few here and there, but between Marjanovic, Kyle Anderson, and who was the last one?
Jonathan Simmons.
Yeah, Simmons probably going to play.
They won't see.
I don't think they'd see much more time.
Might.
Maybe in the first round, but when it gets to winning time against hopefully the Thunder in the second round and then the Warriors, those guys probably won't see the floor.
But look at it this way. Okay, Duncan, 17 appearances. Parker, 14 appearances. Ginobili, 12. It goes on and on. But they're bench players. West has been to the playoffs 6 times. Mills, 6. Okay, they're bringing in Aldridge in, who had 5 appearances with Portland. Kevin Martin's only had 2 appearances in his whole career. Add in that Leonard has 4. This team is set to make a great run. And remember, they were hot at the end of last season, too.
Yeah, they really were.
They got beat out by the Clippers. And I think, if we're being realistic, I think all 4. I know you think Portland pulls off the upset. I don't see Portland beating the Clippers, so.
Well, we'll see.
I think the top 4 teams make it in. Okay, but also, look at the coaching. Warriors coach Steve Kerr, he's made the playoffs once. Yes, they have the world championship. He has a great team around him. But look at the other team. Doc Rivers has made it to the playoffs 12 times. Has won world championship. Made to the finals twice. What I'm trying to get across is experience matters. But the Oklahoma City Thunder will not use logic when it comes to this. They want to sit there and live in a dream that they can get young players and compete for a championship.
Well, and we've talked about it before. I mean, it's just arrogant. I mean, you look at the history of the NBA, young teams don't win championships. They just don't. And there's a reason for that, and it's exactly what you're talking about. It's the experience factor.
It's a whole nother season.
You have to have been there or done that. It's fine to have young players, but you got to surround them with veterans who, okay, I know my role, I know what needs to be done, I know it can get us a victory in the playoffs. This is what I'm going to do, and then they do it.
This is what was brought up last night. The playoffs are so much friendlier to older players than the regular season. There's less travel, and you always have a day off in between.
Yeah, also, I mean, just from a basketball standpoint,
at least one day.
The game tends to slow down a little bit. It becomes more about the half court, and that obviously favors older players. But back to, you talked about the Warriors not having a lot of experience. They didn't have a lot of experience in their starting 5, but, I mean, a lot of guys on their bench like Livingston, Barbosa,
but okay,
Iguodala, they've been there before.
Iguodala
that's what I'm talking
has
about.
8 appearances.
That's what I'm talking about. The Thunder should have done. That's what the Thunder should have done. Is okay. You want to have young players? That's fine. They can be your starters or whatever. But on the bench, have some veterans that can stabilize things.
But the Thunder refused to live in a reality. Sam Presti has a dream for the Thunder. We're always going to be young. We're always going to contend. Mm-hmm. The problem is, but what hurts is they go and get this experienced person and they say, well, guess what? He's going to be great in the locker room. Muhammad is going to do us no good in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean,
Collison probably won't do anything in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I would be surprised. He might get in 2 minutes here and there.
Yeah, I could see it. It depends. I mean, yeah.
It just kills me because you have this talent.
Yeah.
What you saw last night was a good young basketball team. Experience killed them, though. The Spurs knew how to close. The Thunder do not.
Well, and it's just like what we talked about, in the last segment. They made their bed. Now they got to sleep in it. They better hope Durant stays because the fans are going to say, well, look, he was here. He was playing incredible basketball. The team didn't put the good enough players around him. We can't blame Durant for leaving. We're going to follow him wherever he goes. I mean, the Thunder, no fan is going to buy season tickets and pay whatever it costs to go see Kyle Singler start a small forward for the Thunder. And if Durant leaves, that's who's going to start. So, it ain't going to happen.
It's just amazing to see the ignorance.
But
with Oklahoma City Thunder.
I said, there's nothing they can do about it now. They made their bed, so we'll see what happens.
I know, and all you can do is hope it works out. Is it time for what's going on, Ike?
You want to go?
Yeah, let me get your music real quick. Beautiful, Ike.
All right, man. Today is a great day in sports, especially basketball. We have...
I'm going to need you to speak up. I'm playing the music still
You
for
still
you.
playing the music?
Yeah.
I can hear a little bit.
Yeah.
We have Mr. Kobe Bean Bryant playing in his last game. So, majority of this what's going on segment is going to be just little stuff.
So is
for
this
him.
Black Mamba? What's going on?
Because I got a couple of things that's not Black Mamba-ish, but I'm gonna start
Go
off
ahead.
with the two that's not. Mr. Robert Horry, Big Shot Bob. Did you guys see him yesterday on ESPN's The Jump talking about rings, basically? Did you hear about it?
I heard about it.
Yeah. Well, it was a little joke towards the end of the segment, and Tracy McGrady was, playing around. Hey, let me get one of those rings. And Big Shot Bob, man, with a stone cold face says,
Savage.
"Nah, dog, you gotta earn it."
Ooh. Ooh.
That was cold-blooded.
His face, let me play it. His face though. Tracy McGrady's face was just like,
That face.
bruh. I was like, way better than you. Relax. Like, it was hilarious.
Who would you take? Big Shot
I'm
Bob?
taking Tracy McGrady to be my franchise player, but I'm bringing Big Shot Bob into the playoffs.
Okay. Okay, I'm just saying.
Be honest with me. Big Shot, Robert Horry was a great player. Don't get me any wrong, and he's a champion, 7-time champion. Who's had a successful career and everything, but he had Tracy McGrady, like he was in his prime. Tracy McGrady was a baller.
Okay. Moving on.
Sacramento.
I'm taking Big Shot Bob, though. I'm just saying.
Crazy. Sacramento plans to fire head coach George Karl.
This has been going on all season. Get over it.
Talk to me, though. Who they getting now?
No one. They're running in that organization the ground worse than the Thunder.
Okay, not who they getting. Where they going then?
Straight into the ground.
I think they go to Seattle, man.
They ain't going to Seattle.
Nah, I wish they would though. That'd be kind of cool. I don't like for LA or not LA, excuse me, California to have too many like teams. Like what I mean?
4, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think they should go ahead and pack up and go to Seattle, man. Make them stop hating us for once. So finally
Let them hate us.
No, dude.
Guess
like,
what?
I'm a fan of Gary Payton, and I thought he was going to come here when his son was playing OU and just, like, dog the whole state. Luckily, he didn't, but he probably just did that because
all I'm saying is this. They could have him. Guess what? Or they should be happy that the Thunder are here. They could be disappointed when the playoffs come around, too.
You're crazy, man. Next.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Next. Number 8, number 24 on the court tonight. What do you think about that for Kobe Bryant at the Staples Center?
I mean, he's a legend. He deserves it.
I also think that in honor of Kobe today, anytime you're throwing something away in the trash can, you have to shoot it and yell Kobe every time. I think that'd be a great tribute.
Is that Dave Chappelle?
No,
Chappelle did a skit on it, but I mean, I did that in middle school all the time. So
give us an
before
example
Chappelle.
real quick, Brad.
So if you're eating at a restaurant and you have a wadded up napkin, you see a trash can, you gotta just have the form right, yell Kobe.
No, I want an example. Like, give me you're shooting it, yell Kobe for me.
Kobe.
Okay.
I mean, that's throwback, man. That's middle school. That's like, oh gosh, 500 years ago for me.
Okay, next.
The Black Mama is going to be on the cover of 2K17. Man,
Ooh.
think about this. I don't think they're going to do it. I think he's just going to be a legend cover. But think about this. Did you ever play 2K16?
Yes.
Or any other 2K?
I played the 2K games, yes.
Do you remember the modes, basically, the Jordan modes, how you got to play what would be the one game you would want to play from Kobe's career?
The Raptors game.
The 81?
The 81? Yeah.
That'd be the hardest challenge ever.
Nah,
man.
Game 7 versus Boston.
Game 7 versus Boston. I'm with him. I want to see if I can get the 81 and turn it on like Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You have Jalen Rose.
Ooh, that'd be tough.
You have Jalen Rose all over you from Toronto. Just like, yeah, man. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Last one. I got a text from my mom. Now, my grandpa, he's worked at Chesapeake for years now. He is one of the ushers for the visitors' locker room. And she texted me this Bleacher Report article about my grandpa.
that here, I'll give you a little rundown of it. His name is Marvin Mack. He was a coach for Douglas's girls high school basketball, and now he works for the visitors locker room. And basically, Kobe was saying years after years, greeting him every time I come to OKC. He's always been a great guy and stuff like that. He's basically, he wanted to hug and say goodbye to my grandpa one last time, and they wrote an article for it, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome.
I know. I texted him. I was all like, hey.
He get you a photo?
You know what? I don't even know. He probably does have a photo of him. He hadn't texted me. He's just now getting used to texting and stuff. But I'll ask and see if he has a photo. But I thought that was really cool. I was just like, man, for him. But he's loved by a lot of players, man. J.R. Smith, always talks to him. I got to meet Shaq one day because of him and stuff. So he's a pretty cool guy. He's an interesting guy. He's my hookup guy if I ever need.
There
something.
You go.
So, and that's this week's What's Going On, Matt. Go and play that jam right
quick. There you go. This one goes out to your grandfather.
What's going on?
Ooh, beautiful, Ike. Okay, we'll take a quick break, then we'll be back. You're listening to the Matt Wallen Show on 99.3 U Central Radio. It's 12:55. You're listening to the Matt Wallen Show on 99.3 U Central Radio. Gotta finish up the show, guys. Talk about possibilities, though, tonight for the playoffs. It looks like it's in the West. It's really going to come down to one thing: can Utah win tonight against the Lakers? It's going to be a packed house at the Staples Center for Kobe's last game. Can Utah win? And also, can Sacramento beat Houston? Because Houston's in right now. They have the tiebreaker between Utah.
Correct.
Okay. So who do you have making the 8th seed in the West?
I would like to. I'm a little torn. I would like to see some difference, some new blood in the Utah Jazz, but I think Houston would give Golden State a better series. So I think it will be Houston.
And I want to see James Harden play, against Houston or Golden State too. So
I think it's going to be a bad series. Houston doesn't play any defense.
Well, no, of course not. But I want to see James Harden play.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I'd rather see that matchup.
I think Houston probably wins. Sacramento's resting all their good players.
Yeah. Okay.
Or players. I don't know if any of their players are good. Shots fired. Moving on. In the East, all the teams are locked up, but it basically comes down to seeding. Atlanta, the Hawks play the Wizards tonight. If Miami wins, the Hawks will be the 4th seed regardless of Miami's result, or regardless of Atlanta's result. If Miami loses and the Hawks win, Atlanta will be the 3 seed. Let's see. If the Heat lose, things get complicated because Miami could drop to the 5. If Atlanta wins both and the Heat and the Hornets lose, the Celtics could be the 4th if both Boston and Atlanta win. And it's just really confusing. Charlotte will be the 6th. For the Hornets to jump to the 5th, Charlotte has to win, and combine with a Miami win, and both the Celtics and Hawks win.
Let's just wait and see what happens after tonight.
Yeah, that's after tonight. We'll get that figured out.
It's really complicated.
Oh, man. Okay. So the chase for 73 tonight. Does it happen?
It happens.
Yes, playing Memphis. A beat-up Memphis team. I agree it happens.
Yeah.
Should it have bumped the LA-Utah game?
Yeah, probably. I mean, if
in the sense of the game, because obviously, why
the magnitude of the game? What you're saying?
I'm watching the Golden State Memphis game tonight because I want to see Golden State beat the record. I'm watching pre and post game for Kobe's farewell game. You know where I'm going? I want to.
So that's how you're spending it.
That's basically, and a lot of people are like. I think Jazz is going to go in and beat Kobe. He's going to lose his last game. It's sad, but it's true. Unless he can score 81 points, yes. It's sad, but it's true. But I'm ready to see as in maybe what type of celebration they're going to have.
I'm ready. I'm ready for the pregame. I agree with that.
And post, interviews and, gifts and all that stuff. I'm ready to see not even the basketball portion of it, just the honor of this last game.
Let me say for me real quick, I'm probably going to watch the Lakers game. That's why I've decided I'm going to watch the Lakers game, and if I get a notification that the Golden State game gets close, I'm going to switch over.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good plan, but I'm kind of on board with Ike. I'll probably, if I'm going to watch the basketball game for the competitiveness, I'm going to watch the game of the Warriors versus Warriors versus Grizzlies. But because I tried to watch the Thunder game against the Lakers.
The Lakers are bad. I get it.
The pregame in the first couple quarters they were fine, but then it just got bad. It just got ugly.
Lakers are bad.
I ain't watching this anymore.
I understand that.
And be honest with me, everybody wants Kobe to play the whole game, but he's probably going to be in a wrap by the fourth quarter.
He didn't play.
No, he'll play the fourth quarter, I bet, today.
He didn't play. Well, that's true.
He's going to play today. I would be surprised. Well, because this is how I figure. He's probably going to get taken out of the game with, a minute left? Minute, 2 minutes, get the standing ovation.
That's what I want to see. I'll tune in around that time. See him walk off the court last time in the post game, like Ike said.
My question is, and this would be kind of cool, because all these greats are going to be courtside as he is walking off, instead of walking directly to the bench, if he walks down in a line and shakes all the greatness' hands.
I was just thinking that too. That'd be really cool.
That would be awesome. Yeah. That would give me chills there.
I've always said during the finals they should have a legends row, just for a row of legends. Have Bird, Magic, Michael, Hakeem, just a Shaq, just
You think Michael's there tonight?
I don't think he is. I don't know. Probably. I don't think he is though. Michael's that dude.
He's that dude.
He's that dude. Have you seen the little cartoon? The little cartoon that Bleacher Report has about it's hilarious. You need to watch it. But okay.
He's that dude.
Okay. I think that's all we got for today. Y'all got anything you want to add?
Looking forward to seeing how things shape up for the playoffs.
It's gonna be pretty cool. Kobe, we're gonna miss you. Personally, I've never really been a Kobe fan.
You were never a Kobe fan.
I actually hated him. And I'm not gonna sit here.
Okay, Christian Laettner.
He's the greatest. Now that he's retired, I still hate Kobe. But
wow.
Tim Duncan is the greatest player of our generation.
Tim Duncan's the greatest player
of our generation. Yes.
Okay. And Ike played nice all day till that last sentiment. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at MW_show. Like us on Facebook, The Matt Wallen Show. Email us at themattwallenshow@gmail.com. And you can always catch the show on our blog, themattwallenshow.blogspot.com. It's been a great show. We'll be back Monday. We'll know everything about the playoffs, and we'll know exactly how the Black Mama's legacy ends. You've been listening to The Matt Wallen Show on 99.3 U Central Radio.